Hello dear students in second prep stage. We are going to start our first unit in algebra by studying real numbers. This is the name of the unit. The first lesson in this unit, as you see, is talking about the cube root of rational numbers. The sets of numbers. In primary stage, we studied some sets of numbers, like the set of counting numbers C. If you want to count anything, you are going to start by 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this is the first set, the set of counting numbers, okay? Then we studied the set of natural numbers, which is n. n equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The same numbers of counting, in addition, the number 0, okay? Then we studied the set of integers, which is z. The set z contains, as you see, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. The same numbers of natural numbers, in addition, the negative numbers, -1, -2, -3, and so on. These sets, we studied them in primary stage. In first prep stage, we studied the set of rational numbers, which is Q. The set of rational numbers Q is any rational number can be written in the form A over B, in the form of a fraction, where A belongs to Z, B belongs to Z, such that B not equal 0. That's a very important condition, which is B in the denominator cannot be equals 0. We are going to revise also the absolute value of a rational number. We learned that absolute -7 equals 7. The absolute will cancel the negative sign. Absolute 3, this is already positive, so its absolute value equals 3. Absolute 0 equals 0, because as you know, 0 has no sign. 0 is neither positive nor negative, so its absolute will be 0 as it is. Absolute -5 over 3 will be 5 over 3, because we said that the absolute will cancel the negative sign, okay? We have a remark related to the absolute value of a rational number. If absolute x equals a, then x, which is inside the absolute, equals positive a or negative a, or we say positive or negative a. For example, if absolute x equals 5, then x equals positive or -5, because if the value inside the absolute is 5, so its absolute will be 5. If the value inside the absolute -5, so absolute -5 also equals 5. So if absolute x equals 5, so x may be 5 or -5. Another example, if we have absolute x equals 2, then x equals, the value inside the absolute may be +2 or -2. So we write x equals a positive or -2. Okay? Also, we are going to revise the square root of a rational number. This lesson we studied it in first prep stage. Square root 4 equals 2 because 2 power 2 equals 4. Negative square root 4 equals a -2. Okay? Positive or negative square root 4 equals positive or -2, as you see. So the square root may be positive, may be negative, may be positive or negative. So in general, every number A has two square roots. Their sum equals 0. As you see, the positive square root of 4 equals 2. The negative square root of 4 equals -2. 2 plus -2 equals 0. Okay? For example, the number 25 has two square roots. because square root 25 equals 5 and the negative square root 25 equals the negative 5. And by finding their sum, 5 plus negative 5 equals 0. We have some notes. Number 1, square root 0 equals 0. So the number 0 has only one square root. It has no two square roots because, as we said, the number 0 has no sign. It is neither positive nor negative. So it has only one square root. Number 2, square root negative rational number is meaningless. We cannot find square root for a negative rational number. Like we cannot find the square root of negative 4. We cannot find the square root of negative 9 and so on. Number 3, square root 3 power 2. If we have a number inside the square root and it raised to power 2, then the result will be absolute this number. Okay? يعني absolute 3 equals 3. If we have square root negative 6 all power 2, the result will not be negative 6. It will be absolute negative 6 equals 6. And now let's solve an exercise related to the equations which we studied before. The example says, find the value of x in 5x plus 3 equals 20. Example زي كده حلينا زيه كتير قبل كده. طب اللي فاكر بقى كده يركز معايا. أول step كنا بنعمل إيه؟ البوزيتيف 3 will go to the other side by the opposite sign اللي هي إيه؟ negative 3. يبقى النكست step will be 5x equals 20 minus 3 equals 17. Okay? Then 5 will go to the other side by division because the sign between 5 and x is times. So the next step will be x equals 17 divided 5. By using calculator we can find the final answer or the value of x اللي هي هتبقى 17 over 5. This is the required in this problem. If I asked you the number which if multiplied by itself 3 times gives 27 is what? Think about this number. 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. So this is the number which if multiplied by itself gives 27, which is 3. Okay, because 3 times 3 times 3 equals 3 power 3 equals 27. Instead of that, we say cube root 27 equals 3. يعني بدل ما هسألك السؤال ده كله هقول لك cube root 27 equals كام؟ 3. يبقى الكيوب روت معناه ايه يا جماعة؟ بسألك على النمبر اللي لو عملنا له multiply itself 3 times gives this number. اوكي؟ ويبقى كده احنا عرفنا ان معنى كيوب روت 27 هو النمبر اللي لو عملنا له time itself 3 times بيديني 27. يبقى كده يا اصدقائي بدل ما هنكتب كيوب روت 27 في عندي ساين اللي هي قدامنا اهي اللي هي عامله زي السكوير روت بس بنكتب فوقيها 3. هي دي كده الساين اللي معناها كيوب روت. وكيوب روت 27 قلنا ان هي equals 3. Another example كيوب روت 8. لما اقول كيوب روت 8 يبقى انا كده بسألك على ايه؟ بسألك عن النمبر اللي لو عملنا له تايم نفسه 3 times يديني 8. النمبر ده اللي هو ايه؟ في ناس قالت تمام اللي هو 2. صح كده. طب ليه؟ because 2 power 3 or 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. اعتقد كده يا اصدقائي الموضوع بقى سهل ونقدر نحل اكتر. نمبر 2 cubic root negative 8. الاول قبل ما تظهر الانسر عايز الناس تفكر كيوبيك روت نيجاتيف 8 معناه ايه الاول؟ I am asking you about the number which, if multiplied by itself 3 times, gives negative 8. This number is negative 2 because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals negative 8. Or we can say because negative 2 all to the power of 3 equals negative 8. So the definition of the cube root of a rational number is the cube root of the rational number a is that number whose cube is equal to a. Now we are going to learn how to find the cube root of a perfect cube rational number. We have two methods. The first one, the number can be factorized into its prime factors. We are going to solve examples related to this method. The second method, we can find the cube root of a rational number using calculator. طيب, let's solve some examples related to the first method. Number 1, cubic root 27. احنا زي ما قلنا ممكن نجيب cubic root 27 by using factorization to the prime factors or by using calculator. تعالوا نشوف الطريقة الأولانية اللي هي by using الprime factors. تعال بس أفكرك الأول بالprime factors. الprime factors اللي هي الprime numbers اللي هم 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Let's start. 27 not divisible by 2 but divisible by 3. So 27 divided 3 equals 9. Also 9 not divisible by 2 but divisible by 3. So 9 divided 3 equals 3. And finally 3 divided 3 equals 1. To find the cube root of 27, we take only one number from 3 similar numbers. Here we have 3 3's. So we take only one of them like that. So the result will be 3. You can check your answer using calculator. It will be 3 also. Let's solve another example. Number 2, cubic root 1000. By using factorization, 1000 divisible by 2. So 1000 divided 2 equals 500. Divided 2 equals 250. Divided 2 equals 125. 125 not divisible by 2 or 3, but divisible by 5. So 125 divided 5 equals 25. Divided 5 equals 5. Divided 5 equals 1. And as we did in the first example, we will take only one number from each 3 similar numbers. We have 3 2's. So we are going to take only one of them, like that. We have 3 5's. We are going to take only one of them, 5. Then cubic root 1000 equals 2 times 5 equals 10. You can check your answer using calculator. Cubic root 1000 will be 10. We have some notes related to the cubic root. Number 1, if you want to find the cubic root for a letter, like cubic root a power n, we are going to divide the power of a by 3, like that. The answer will be a to the power n over 3. For example, if we have cubic root a power 6, the result will be a to the power of 6 over 3. It will be a power 6 over 3, it will be 2. So it will be a to the power of 2. Number 2, cubic root a letter raised to power 3. As we said in note number 1, we are going to divide the power of a, which is 3, by 3. The result will be a power 1. We write it a. For example, cubic root 5 power 3 equals 5. Cubic root negative 5 power 3 also equals negative 5. Cubic root negative x power 3 equals negative x, and so on. Example, find each of the following. Cubic root 512 a power 6. To find the answer of this question, we find the cubic root 512 by using calculator. And we find the cubic root a power 6 by division. 6 divided 3. It will be 2. So the answer will be 8 a power 2. Again, cubic root 512, it will be 8 using calculator. Cubic root a power 6, it will be a power 2 because 6 divided 3 equals 2. Another example, if we want to find cubic root 343 a power 9 over 216 b power 6. First, we find the cubic root 343 over 216 using calculator. Then we find cubic root a power 9. How? Yes, 9 divided 3. It will be a power 3. And cubic root b power 6. Okay, 6 divided 3, it will be b power 2. So the answer will be 7a power 3 over 6b power 2. Now, we are going to study the steps of solving equations related to our lesson. Number 1, make the expression that has square root, cubic root, bracket raised to power 2, bracket raised to power 3 alone in the left side. يعني بيكون عندي في الإيكويشن في term أو expression عليه square root أو عليه cubic root أو بيكون عندي bracket عليه power 2 أو بيكون عندي bracket عليه power 3. أول step إن أخلي الإكسبريشن ده اللي عليه أي حاجة من دول لوحده في الليفت هاند سايد. Number 2, perform the inverse operation. طب إيه هي الانفرس operations؟ باور 2 الانفرس بتاعه square root، والعكس square root الانفرس بتاعه باور 2. باور 3 الانفرس بتاعه cubic root، والعكس cubic root الانفرس بتاعه باور 3. This is step number 2. Step number 3, simplify. And we are going to solve many problems or many equations related to these steps. Example, solve each of the following equations in Q. Number 1, x power 3 equals 8. نرجع كده للستبس اللي قلناها في solving الإيكويشن. هلاقي عندي هنا expression عليه power 3 وموجود alone in the left side. يبقى هخش على الستيب اللي بعدها. الستيب اللي بعدها الانفرس اوبريشن لاكس باور 3 او لباور 3. الانفرس اوبريشن لباور 3 كيوب روت. يبقى to find the value of x we are going to make cube root for 8 like that. x equals cubic root 8 equals 2. 2 belongs to q. 2 is rational number. Okay, so the solution set equals 2. Another example, number 2, x power 3 plus 9 equals 8. The expression which has power 3, this one, x power 3, we are going to make it alone in the left hand side. So 9 will go to the other side by subtraction, like that. So the answer will be negative 1. Now we have x power 3 equals negative 1. The inverse operation of power 3, cube root. So we are going to take cube root for negative 1. And the cube root negative 1 equals negative 1. Negative 1 belongs to q. So the solution set equals negative 1. Another example. Number 3, x minus 2 all to the power of 3 equals 125. We have an expression raised to power 3 and it is alone in the left hand side as you see. يبقى next step هنعمل الانفرس اوبريشن. الانفرس اوبريشن لباور 3 هي cubic root. So x minus 2 equals cubic root 125. By using calculator we find the result or the value of cubic root 125. It will be 5. يبقى next step x minus 2 equals 5. We have an easy equation. 2 will go to the other side by the opposite sign. It will be 5 plus 2. So x equals 5 plus 2 equals 7. 7 belongs to Q. Therefore, the solution set equals 7. Another example, number 4. 2x minus 1 all to the power of 3 minus 10 equals 54. عندي هنا expression عليه power 3 اللي هو 2x minus 10 all to the power of 3. بس هو مش لوحده في الليفت هاند سايد، معاه نيجاتيف 10. هعمل ايه؟ هودي النيجاتيف 10 في الرايت هاند سايد تروح بوزيتيف 10. فيبقى عندي 2x minus 1 all to the power of 3 equals 64 عشان 54 plus 10 هتديني 64. طيب الستيب اللي بعد كده هعمل الانفرس اوبريشن. الانفرس اوبريشن لباور 3 هيبقى كيوب روت. يبقى 2x minus 1 equals كيوب روت 64. وبالكالكليتر هنجيب كيوب روت 64 هتبقى 4. فيبقى عندي 2x minus 1 equals 4. بقى عندي ايكويجن سهلة جدا. هنحلها ازاي؟ هودي النيجاتيف 1 في الرايت هاند سايد. هيبقى عندي 2x equals 5 عشان 4 plus 1 يديني 5. فاضل لي ال 2 هوديها السايد التاني بالديفيجن لان الساين اللي بين ال 2 والاكس ملتبلاي. فعشان كده ال 2 هتروح بالديفايدد فهتبقى الاكس equals 5 divided 2 هتبقى equals 5 over 2 belongs to Q rational number. So the solution set equals 5 over 2. Another example. Find the length of the radius of a sphere whose volume equals 4581 centimeters cubed while pi equals 22 over 7. السفير اللي هي البول بس الماثيماتيكال نيم بيبقى سفير. الفوليوم اوف السفير الرول بتاعته 4 over 3 باي r باور 3. يبقى هنا هو مديني الفوليوم والريكوايرد عايز نجيب الراديوس اللي هو الار. هنكتب الرول بتاعه الفوليوم. الفوليوم اوف السفير equals 4 over 3 باي r باور 3. الستيب اللي بعد كده هنعمل ريبليسمنت. الفوليوم النمبر بتاعه 4581 equals 4 over 3 زي ما هي. الباي مديها لي في الكويستشن 22 over 7 يبقى تايمز 22 over 7 والراديوس هو الانون اللي عندي فهكتبه زي ما هو r باور 3. عشان اجيب r باور 3 هعمل 4 over 3 times 22 over 7 by using calculator. هيبقى عندي نمبر واحد هولديه في السايد التاني بالديفيجن فهتبقى الريزلت r باور 3 equals 9261 over 8. اوكي انا عايز اجيب الراديوس يبقى انا عايز اكنسل باور 3 فهعمل الانفرس اوبريشن. الانفرس اوبريشن لباور 3 هي كيوب روت فهيبقى الار equals كيوب روت 9261 over 8 by using calculator. The result will be 10.5 centimeters and this is the required. The last example, life application. Find the side length of a cube vessel with capacity 1 liter. يعني أنا عندي vessel على شكل كيوب الكاباسيتي بتاعتها 1 لتر. يعني أنا ممكن أحط فيها 1 لتر، 1 لتر ووتر اويل اي حاجه. طيب السوليوشن، ال 1 لتر from primary stage عارفين ان ال 1 لتر equals 1000 سنتيمتر كيوب، والكاباسيتي هي الفوليوم. اوكي، يبقى الفوليوم equals 1000 سنتيمتر كيوب، والريكوايرد هنا عايز اجيب السايد لينس. طب الفوليوم اوف الكيوب الرول عارفينها من برايمري، الفوليوم اوف الكيوب equals سايد باور 3، والفوليوم عندي ب 1000 يبقى اس باور 3 equals 1000. اوكي، طيب انا عايز الاس اللي هو السايد، يبقى انا عايز اكنسل باور 3. الانفرس اوبريشن لباور 3 هعمل كيوب روت، يبقى عشان اجيب السايد لينس للفيزل ديت هيبقى الاس ايكوالز او السايد لينس ايكوالز كيوب روت 1000 equals 10 centimeters. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you and see you later in the next lesson.